on? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? What's up? It's been a while. I am your host, The Rich Martin. Yes. And you are the greatest audience ever. I have none other than my host today, Pat Bev. Sipping on a tart drink. It is none other than pomegranate cranberry. Trying to work on the kidneys. You know how that go. This is a beat made recently. I want to say in about past 7 days. It's called Beat Hitter. Pretty dope. Yes. Today we got a great show for you. Great show for you. How to do dating. Again, for women and for men. I don't want you guys to think that I was being biased. My show is for women and for men. Basically put you guys on to how to do this dating thing again. So let's go. Dating up. Let me lower this down a little bit. So dating up, like when you're dating somebody above your status. Women tend to do this. Nobody's to blame them. But when you do this, just remember that there are things that that man will expect that you may not be willing to provide. So remember, when you're dating up, ladies, note to take, there is a compromise, right? So the compromise might be you can't have male friends, right? Another compromise would be you have to dress a certain way, dress more grown up, right? And another thing you would have to do is foul language. Let's not do that. So there's different ways that you would have to engage this man, right? That man is going to be stimulated by what you bring to the table. But aside from that, if you want a more than once type of thing, then of course you have to adhere to his standards. That man brings a bigger piece of bread to the table, so you might want to act right. Guys, dating up. Dating out of your league, let's just say, because guys rarely really do date somebody that has a lot of bread and cares about that person that has a lot of bread as far as like that goes, because we really typically don't necessarily care about that. But guys, if you're going to date somebody out of your league, right, like let's say she's a 9 or 8 or whatever, and you're not that high up on the pole or on the totem pole. What's up, y'all? How you doing? Bless up. You might want to look into altering what you do or how you treat certain women. What's up, y'all? How you doing? Rich Martin. We talking about, let's see, well, hey, what's up? What's going on? What's going on? BB Con, BA Con, whatever. What's going on, y'all? How you doing? So today we're talking about dating, how to date right, how to date good, how to do your thing. We were just talking about dating up for females. I was saying there's compromise if you're going to date up somebody out of your stratosphere as far as your pocket goes. Ladies, you have to maybe change your dress up a little bit. Foul language would have to be held to a minimum, and make that compromise happen if you date a guy that has some bread. Guys, if you're dating a woman that's out of your league, you're going to have to step your game up as far as things go. You're going to have to make sure that you take that woman to a fairly good spot. Doesn't have to be the top of the top, but it has to be a fairly good spot. You have to make some reservations and see what's going on. Do some things that you haven't necessarily done. But I'm not saying go all out first date. I never tell people to go all out on their first date, because that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have the vibes. The vibes, ladies and gentlemen, are supposed to be on the first time you guys go out. If the vibes are not right, then why should you invest in something that you don't necessarily know if it's going to be like really, really on like that, right? So yes, next thing I want to do, date right? Like I said, realistically, guys, if you are, let's just be honest, if you are 4 or 5 or something like that as a guy that's not necessarily attractive, or you overweight, or you're just not really on like that, you might want to be realistic about who you're trying to get, right? You're not going to bang out a supermodel or whatever. You'll get lucky though. Don't get it twisted. Everybody's lucky, but you're not going to knock a supermodel every time out the park, right? So you want to be realistic about what it is you can't get. Humble yourself and move forward with that. But remember this: your pockets detail. Your pockets can basically give you 4+ on whatever your status is. So if you are 5 and your pockets are right, oh, you a 9. That means a nine, like damn near perfect. Okay, so if your pockets are right, let's say you made six figures and you were five. Well, that automatically makes you at least a seven and a half. If you make seven figures, you almost a nine. You damn near about a nine. And I'm not saying it's a guaranteed thing, but that's what's up. Shut up. Okay. Kayla, what's up? Don't know you, but that was a good way to say what's up. Appreciate you. I'm gonna take it as you said, what's up. But yeah, so those are situations too, right? Another thing you want to do is in the first couple of dates, you want to prioritize faith, family, religion. These are things that you want to actually lock in and find out if this is what you want to be doing. If dating a person that doesn't share your same faith, is this what you want to do? These are the people that you want to date. If that's the case, then of course, by all means, go forward with it. But if it's not, then of course these are things that you want to actually look into moving around from. What's going on with the comments? How y'all doing? What's up? What's up? Yes, so we're talking about dating, right? So we're talking about dating. Like I said, if you have an attractive ladies, guys, don't go, fall head over heels in that situation. See where her mind is at, and if she's not on that type of time, then of course see what you can do with it. But treat people right, or else you'll be, left to the side. Ladies, work on changing up what you're looking for, right? That's what I would say a lot of women can do. Work on changing up what you're looking for and actually analyze what it is you want, right? So if height is on the top of your list, make that height, weight, right? These are things, looks, right? And bread, money, right? So if money's on the top of your list, remember that the money comes with compromise. Remember that. That's guys and girls. Because money comes with compromise, no matter who you are, bro. If you're not willing to compromise to get that bread, to get that bag, to get that dude with that bag, then you bugging out. Seriously, look at yourself and be like, yeah, I'm bugging out. If I want to upgrade what I'm looking for, then I'm gonna have to spin it up. You know what I'm saying? With that said, we're going into a new beat. I'll play something for you real quick. So height, weight, looks, and money. If this is what we have as a prerequisite, if this is something that we wanted to look for with the person that we dating, then we might want to, be as hot. Then we might want to learn to step our game up however we need to in order to court that person. How are you courting these people, right? Because the old school style that you're doing ain't really working, right? And ladies, if you can't charm a person, how do you expect to get that person? So yeah, he's good looking, you good looking, he got money, you got money, y'all both looking real good. But he's actually busy either on the phone or he's really legit busy. He noticed you, he thinks you're cute. He gives you a little smile or a head nod or something like that, or wave or whatever, and you wave back. But you stop right then and there. That's a problem. What's going on? What's going on? Oh, Boost, what's going on? So that's a problem. That's something that you need to address. You may have to. You could gesture. Hey, a little smile or something like that. It never hurt to smile. It never hurt to go forward in those endeavors and initiate those things. You got to go after what you want. And I'm not part of the old school vibe where it's like, nah, let him be the chaser. Let him. If that man is worth it, there are people chasing him. And I'm not saying everybody, but I am saying be smart about this, man. Because you probably passed off on a man that you wanted to date because you wouldn't approach him. Or he approached you and you didn't know what this man made. This has happened to me tons of times before. And you knocked him out the box because you was like, nah, I'm in a transition phase right now. I just got out of something. Word? What if the dude you was trying to date was great and just wanted to see you happy and just wanted to take you out for a date, didn't want to worry about getting laid? I don't worry about getting laid when I date. I really don't. Because I know eventually it's going to happen, and I know that I'm going to get mine anyway because I have what I have and I do what I do. So I don't worry about getting laid when I go out to date with women. Sorry, it's just a personal thing because I know that I'm going to be good. I know that, so I do it for the vibes. I do it for let's see what's up. Let's see where this goes. Let's see, what's going on. So it's one of those things, man. Does this man have that expendable income? Does this man have situations going on in his life? Does he have a savings account that's relevant? Where does he live? What is his plans? Where is this going to go? Um, I'm honest. Be honest in the beginning of your date, man. You don't have to lie to these females. Girls, you don't have to lie to this guy. He don't care. Listen, let me be honest with you. What's up, y'all? Let me be honest with you. This man does not care what you say. As long as you be like, listen, blah 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 blah, then I'm pretty much good. You think I would get girls if I got your hairs down and I'm white? You can get what you want to get, bro. You're gonna get girls regardless. I can't get what you get. You can't get what I get. You can get whatever you want to get, bro. Seriously. I wish you the best in what you're doing. Of course, just go forward with your own flow, man. Be honest. But approach. Here's another thing that I tell all men to do. Approach everybody. Practice on the lady from Chipotle. Practice on the lady from Starbucks. Practice on the lady in the supermarket. Just say, hey, how you doing today? Oh, good, good, cool. Nice to see you, Christina. Nice to see you, Cassandra. Nice to see you, Miss Williams. Whatever. And just have a little conversation with her. It's gonna break down those barriers that you guys have, no matter what your race is. It's gonna break down the barriers that you have and the angst that you get, or the fears that you get, or the anxiety that you get in talking to females. It's gonna keep that wheel moving. Approaching is the way to move, bro. That's how we gotta be. And if you can't be that way, you may fail in this situation. But listen, failure is nothing. It does not matter. Personally, I get this all the time. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me because it's her loss. Period. Like there's no more. There's no more to it. That's that. It's her loss. And that's how I look at it. And I'm only saying that not to be super cocky and confident, but I am saying that I know what I bring to the table. And if she's not willing to see that, then sorry for her, because I could have changed your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you got to look at it, guys. But I'm not saying you can actually, you know, not bring nothing to the table and be like, well, that's your loss. Meanwhile, you just asked her for money. Come on, bro. What are we doing? So get your life together, man. Once you get a significant job and you get something under you and you actually get a crib and all this other things, and you get a little savings under you or whatever, and you're doing fairly well for yourself, then you can date. Guys, remember that. The only way you can date is when you get something for yourself. Don't be out here dating and messing around if you can't. So here's the point. I'm going to be honest with you, right? I'm going to keep it funky with y'all. Gym sock style. If you date a girl and you spend that little $150 or $100 on that date that y'all go out to, and everything is good, and you like, hey, so where we going from here, mom? What's up? You trying to chill? She'd be like, yeah, cool, let's chill. You don't have hotel money. Papicito, you're going down, man. You're going down, bro. I'm trying to tell you right now, it's not a good look. If you don't have hotel money, you no longer control the narrative. Because you don't want to bring it to your crib. And I'm only saying that because in the beginning, you don't know this person. She might lie on you. And I don't know if she will or she won't. I'm not trying to diss the female, but I am saying that you don't know how that could go. So remember, the hotel money is very important. And make sure that you take her to a place where the hotel's kind of close. Done. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I always say, like, first date, make sure that she goes to a hotel with you. Because if not, then y'all acting up. What if you go for a walk in the forest? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's not happening. A walk in the forest is crazy. We're not doing that, bro. We're not doing that, bro. We homies, but we're not doing that. A walk is trash. Nobody's gonna go for a walk in the trash. I mean, no. It has to have some type of monetary value. Now, I will say this: if she's a rider and she really likes you anyway, even if she's not super attractive or whatever, just chill with it, vibe with it. She might be valuable in the future for you in some way, shape, or form. And I'm not saying she doesn't have value now. I'm merely saying you probably don't see it. So with that, I'm saying y'all could do a Starbucks meetup. Be like, yo, listen, Starbucks on me, meet me up the block. And then boom, she meets you up the block. You guys are cool. You chit-chatting or whatever, this and that. You never know. She might be a rider and be cool. And she puts you on to one of the baristas that actually likes you. You know what I'm saying? Like those things happen. So, and also having a female with you, not even a super attractive female, just having a female with you shows that you're easy to approach and you cool. So automatics, you getting that. So that's a free date for her. Don't OD, don't burn your pockets on that situation. Y'all gonna do something light like Thai food. You peep the scene out, see how it's going, kick it with her, and then y'all good. Because think about it, it's kind of like going out with your homies, but this one you get to benefit with because other girls see you with a girl. So now they're like, oh, you know what? I always notice Peter, just saying, I always noticed Peter, or I always noticed Rob, and he seemed like he was kind of cool. Oh, okay, cool. And then next thing you know, hey Rob, hey Rob, hey Rob, and now boom, you got flow. You see what I'm saying? So remember, bro, like it's like this. I call it the tire theory, right? If you got a Rolls Royce and you break down because you got a flat tire, are you gonna wait for them to get you the best tire for your Rolls Royce, or are you going to get a tire that fits your Rolls Royce to get to the space and then change the tire? That's what I'm talking about. So remember that, guys. Like we have to keep the wheels moving the way we can in order to get to where we want to be. Ladies, back to y'all. Now, ladies, stop acting so uptight. I personally live in a space, right? It's not New York, but I live in a space where you got to really, really have it in order to do this. But I've seen many women that just want to date but can't date because they don't approach, and they want to be approached, and they want this man to have 1,000 things when they only have 20. Like, make it make sense, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just passing time, dating, huh? Waiting for the next best thing. Listen, I'm not saying passing time. No, I'm saying that sometimes it's a stop in the journey, or sometimes it could be the person, but it could be a situation where, you guys are both meant to be in that one space at that one time. And then maybe it'll dissipate or maybe it'll elevate. I don't know. But what I will say is it was worth having no matter what it was. So remember that, man. We're going a little long on this episode because I think it's very important for you guys to focus and remember dating is something that should be done properly. And if you don't do it properly with the compromise, I was saying, making sure that if you're dating up, then compromise and sacrifice and remember and be realistic about what you want. Prioritize your faith, your family, and your religion. How big of a family does she want? Do you want kids? Does she want kids? Religion. Do you have to be this? Do you have to be that? Can you or can you not be atheist? Prioritize politics as well. Can you be Democrat and date this woman? Can you act like you're Republican and date this woman? These things matter because there are things that we hold to a T. So remember that it's very important that we focus and lock in order to date right. If you want to date right, remember that there is compromise. Remember that there is sensibility to it. Remember that there are feelings involved in these situations. And remember that it is an investment and not a quick purchase. So guys, ladies, last tip. I'm gonna stop the music for this part. Last tip. When you guys decide this guy's really cute, this guy's really cool, I like this, he's tickling my fancy as far as entertainment goes, I think we're gonna do this. We're gonna extend the night. Let's just say, quote unquote, extend the night. Never take him to your place. First date. Never. I only say that because you don't know who he is. He could leave you off in the woods. He could leave you where you stand. We don't want that. We want you guys to date successfully. And dating successfully means if he cannot take you to a hotel or he cannot take you to his crib, why can't he? Is it one, he doesn't have money, or two, he lives with somebody? It's either his mom's or his baby mom's or his wife. These are not good options. So that's why you do not take him to your crib first date. First date, it has to be on him, and first date also has to be his hotel or his crib so that you see how he lives, you see that he can afford to take you out, and you see that things are clicking the right way. Guys, if you do not have not just date money, the $150 that you're supposed to have, but you also supposed to have another $200 for that date night. So $350 at minimum for a date. And I'm only saying that because we don't want to go cheap and be disappointed, right? $200 is going to get you at a hotel easily, because if they're booked late that night or whatever, and you're like, you know what, $200 is good. I'll spend $175 on this hotel. After taxes, we're looking at like $187, something like that. Boom, you good. But don't be like Mr. Captain the cheapskate and be like, yo, I want a hotel for $99. And then you in the hood and y'all scared to leave the crib because there's 16 dudes outside because you chose to be cheap on a date. So remember these things, man. And if here's another thing, guys. If y'all on some, meet up and smash ish, right? And you do the motel, make sure it's in a motel. Make sure the motel is in a hood that you kind of know. Because if you in a hood that you don't know, like let's say you from Staten Island and you went to a hood in BK, you could get lined. Just remember that. So being cheap does not pay off. So remember that. A hotel is a place that's going to be a little bit better, and don't do a cheap hotel because they're real close to motels and they kind of want to finesse that situation the wrong way. So like I said, go decent with the hotel. Make sure you go okay with the first date. And if it's hitting that way, then y'all gonna be good. But otherwise, man, don't trip. And eye contact is very important. If you don't make eye contact with that female, she may not sense that you're serious about her or serious about dating in those situations, or you might have something to hide. So ladies, make sure that you read those signs, but stop being so critical when it comes to dealing with somebody. There's 1,000 ways to not date a female. I need y'all to ease up a little bit on the reservations. Like if he be like, hey, listen, I don't necessarily know if I want a relationship right now. That should not cancel that man from actually dating you. All right, I'll be all that. I could be tripping. That should not cancel that dude out for being somebody that you date. Why? Because at the end of the day, he may be honest. I'm honest about if I'm dating somebody first date. I don't know if I want to be in a relationship with you. Why I gotta lie to you and say I want to be in a relationship with you just to date you? I don't know. I don't know who you are. I don't know your last name. I don't know enough about you to tell you that I want to date you for the long run. We dating now. Once I find out after this date and we go on date number 2 and I know more about you, then we good. And I might be interested. But currently, oh no. I'm not here to lie to you though. They probably are. Homie over there, homie down there. Just because you're cute, he probably want to lie to you and tell you all those things. But good luck with that. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to sign off. This was a longer episode, but I wanted you guys to get the point. I wanted you to understand dating is something that you have to use. It's an investment that guys are going to make. It's an investment of your time, ladies. And I think you need to give dudes a little bit more leeway on these situations. I'm not saying let everybody go, but I am saying that, like, remember, dating up means that you have to compromise. Date the right people, be realistic about who you want to deal with, who you can get with, and prioritize your faith, your religion, and your family, and your morals, and all those things. These are things that you guys want to talk about first, second date type of thing. Don't lie to one another, because that's corny. Be real, and you'll be all right. Peace.